Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. I'm Luke, and this is my wife Anna. And this time we got a cooking video for you about fresh milled food. So what are we doing this time?
We're gonna make noodles.
So what kind of noodles are we making?
Well, they're made out of Kamut flour or Kamut. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but I think it's called Kamut or Karazan. It's an ancient grain. It's kind of golden in color and it's harder than your regular modern wheat, I guess, and higher protein.
So what are we gonna make these noodles and put them into?
Make a noodle dish with them.
Okay.
With beef and gravy.
Okay, and so the traditional name for that kind of a dish would be?
I don't know.
Luke and Anna's noodle dish. So the interesting part of this is actually making the noodles out of fresh milled flour, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get going.
Okay, I'm going to start with 5 cups of freshly milled flour. And 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt. This is Himalayan pink salt. Sometimes there's lumps in it, so I just like to break it up so we don't get lumps in noodles. Lumps of salt. And then the last thing is 2 cups of water. Very simple recipe, but they're very good. Usually I like to mix this up a little while before supper so it has a chance to rest. It does best with a 20-minute minimum rest time before you roll them out. And you can mix them up in the morning and then roll them out in the evening too. But the nice thing about them also is that you can keep the dough can refrigerate for several days and you can roll more noodles out as you need them to. And these noodles aren't only for just cooking as a standalone noodle dish, but they're good for adding into other soups or stews. I also roll them out and use them for lasagna. Everybody likes those. Everybody likes lasagna noodles when they're made with the freshly milled noodles. Yeah,
they're really, really good. So can you tell people kind of how you developed this recipe and where it came from?
Well, I watched a How to Write lady that has a YouTube channel, and they're making noodles similar to these on a large scale for like 140 people, and I was watching them because I was like, I should try to do that for the family. Well, I had to scale the recipe way down, and I also switched it over to fresh milled flour. So it took a bit of tweaking, and yeah, I was pleased with the results. So it's worked really well for our family. It's kind of a stiff dough. If you just can't work in the last bit of flour at the bottom and it seems pretty dry, you can add another tablespoon or a couple teaspoons of water, but it should be fairly stiff like this. As you can see, there's just a little flour in the bottom left to work in, but I'm going to add maybe just the tiniest splash of water to that dryness down there. Doesn't take much water, and it'll probably get it right, the right texture here. Okay, it's ready for its rest. So I'm just going to cover this so it doesn't dry out and let it sit for a little bit and come back to it to roll them out.
Just cover some plastic wrap?
Yeah. Okay, now the dough has rested for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes at least, probably. So we're gonna try rolling these noodles out.
Oh yeah, and if you don't let it rest, What?
Well, resting helps relax it. It helps the flour to absorb the liquid, the moisture, and relaxes the structure of the flour so it rolls out easier.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on the counter so it doesn't stick too bad.
So you've said that you have sometimes just immediately rolled it out without letting it rest, and the only cost of doing that is your arms get a workout.
Yeah, that's a little bit harder to roll them out.
But other than that, it still works, correct?
Yeah, it would work. I have a pot there with some water just about ready to boil with salt and just a little dash of oil in it to cook these in.
So how much salt so is it about 2 quarts of water?
Yeah, about 2 quarts of water.
Would it be
maybe 2 to 3 teaspoons of salt, I suppose.
And then like maybe a half teaspoon of oil?
Something like that, or a teaspoon.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we do these thicker, sometimes they're thinner right now. I kind of rolled these a little bit thin, but they'll puff up in the water when they cook.
Yeah, they do swell.
I used to be worried about them not separating when I put them in the water like this, but they seem to break apart really well. I don't have to like break them all apart one at a time. They seem to break up when you put them in the water. And this water really should probably be boiling, but it's getting there. I'm gonna probably only cook half of this noodle batch of dough off at once, so I can save some for another time.
So you said this is basically the same recipe that you use for making lasagna noodles?
Yep.
And when you do that, I don't want to spoil lasagna noodle video.
Yeah, hopefully we'll do a video on that.
You have some shortcuts. I guess we'll probably save that for that video.
You can use any kind of flour for this, any kind of fresh milled flour. I mean, I suppose you could use regular white flour too, but fresh milled flour is superior in its health benefits and nutritional quality. So yeah, hard red wheat or hard white wheat works fine in this too. You don't have to use this Karazan flour, but I like to do it it's higher protein and it's kind of fun because it's golden colored. You can see the other ones are already starting to swell in the pot, and they've kind of are rising to the surface. Usually it takes about 15 minutes or so for them to cook. And you can see they just break apart pretty nicely. There's not too many stuck together, so yeah, like I said before, I was worried that they're all going to stick together, and I'd separate them all before I threw them in there, but they didn't really need it, so. I think I might roll out one more small section.
Any other tips and tricks that you've learned when you're doing this?
I don't know, not really. Oops.
You don't really have to be that picky on the shape that you do, huh?
No, not really.
It's not like making tortillas.
You can cut them into whatever shape you want. I don't have a fancy noodle machine or anything, so you can cut them into strips or make spirals or whatever you want to do, but this is just the fastest, easiest way that I've found to cut them, and it works well for us.
You can practice your tortilla rolling skills with this and then just chop it up when you're done. Because it doesn't really matter what shape it is when you're doing noodles.
I try to do them somewhat uniform so that they cook evenly, but nothing, no fancy shape really or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the oil, adding a little bit of oil helps break the structure of the bubble structure in the water so that it doesn't boil over.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you add a little oil usually, and it helps keep the noodles separate, I think, a little bit. But
What kind of heat are you cooking them on here? This is a gas stove.
yeah.
What are you running it on?
Oh, it's
Just
just on
anything-
high right
on
now
high?
until
Mhm.
it gets boiling. Then I'll probably turn it down to a simmer.
So you just let it, you bring it to a boil and then immediately you turn it down?
I turn it down just so it doesn't boil over and stuff
Mm-hmm.
while they're cooking.
Yeah. So then how long do you cook them?
About 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes? Mhm.
Yeah, probably 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how thick you or how thin you roll your noodles. They'll cook faster the thinner you roll them, of course.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, once they get close, you can break one in half and see. You'll see how far it's cooked. We can show you once one starts cooking. You can see how far it gets through the noodle.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can find one that we put in earlier. Maybe one of the more puffy ones here. You can see the center of that isn't cooked all the way yet. It's still kind of like floury in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of chewy. Whoops.
Oh,
This is
here we
what
go.
happens.
Oh, yay. Fireworks. We got fireworks.
That's what happens when you don't watch your noodle pot.
Well, as they say, a watch pot doesn't boil. We weren't watching it and away it went.
So much for the oil helping not boil.
My wife is my style. She likes fireworks. Even in
Well,
the
they
kitchen.
don't happen unless you get in the kitchen.
Oh dear. So I guess it's me, huh? There's some strange influence going on. Fires start everywhere. So husbands, if you help your wives in the kitchen, it makes it more fun. All right, so we're gonna let that boil over for another 15 minutes. Oh, never mind. We'll let it simmer for another 15 minutes. Then what? Just drain it off?
Yeah, we'll drain off most
drain
of
off
the
the
water.
strainer?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the noodles are done cooking. We'll have to, I forgot to set the timer, so we'll just check them and then, I don't know, there's a little bit of flour there, but they're kind of chewy. They might finish cooking when we combine the rest of the ingredients, but they're really close to being done. Did you want to taste one? I forgot I was going to let you taste it.
Sure, I could taste one. So what have you got on the cutting board here?
These are some frozen peppers from the garden. Trying to use up the frozen peppers before the fresh ones get ready, which won't be long before we get peppers from the garden again. So, and this is
what do you have here?
This is gravy left over from yesterday, along with the roast beef. We had roast beef and gravy yesterday, so this is a good way to use it up and combine it into a noodle dish, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
How's
So these
the
are
noodle?
just. It's pretty good.
Is it a little bit chewy still, or not too bad?
It needs a hair more cooking. Yeah.
Okay, now I think they're done.
Yeah, I tasted it, and it definitely tasted done. So
Now we're gonna just drain them part way. I'm gonna turn this on. Sometimes they still soak up some liquid, so I usually like to leave a little bit of liquid in there. So I'm gonna put these peppers in. They were frozen, so they need to get thawing, and then
mix it up. That looks good.
you want to taste them?
Sure.
Okay.
Yum, yum, yum.
We could put some seasonings in there too.
Mm-hmm. Mmm. Very good.
Here's some black pepper. I think this is marjoram. This is basil from the garden. Dried sweet basil. Let's put a little bit in there. Put a little dash of rosemary and then we'll call it good, I think.
Smelling good already. Some of our other videos on our channel, I'm doing stuff in the soil lab. But here we got my wife in her lab. She cooks up stuff that we eat every day. Great food. Thanks, honey, for showing everybody how you make those noodles. So that's fresh milled noodles. And I guess the part that you guys won't get to see is our whole family chowing down on it and devouring it. So, but that's the fun part. At least that is the fun part for me. If you like this video or have any questions about what my wife did cooking, please just leave us a comment down in the comment section and we'll read them, we'll answer them. Thank you for watching. Hope you really enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We also have memberships that you can join as a channel member, and it helps us make more videos here and gives us more opportunity and time to make more cooking videos. If you like cooking videos or our style of cooking videos, or you don't like something, let us know, because that's what makes better content, is feedback from you guys. And that way we know what you like and what you don't like. So anyways, I hope you all found this really useful and enjoyed some of this home style cooking tutorial. We're going to leave you with a verse from scripture, and that is, Jesus said, I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved.